Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny and today it is a nice, cool, crisp spring day, and I thought it would be fun for you to kind of go along with us throughout the day. We've got all sorts of different areas that we can tackle today. We've had concrete poured in the dry storage of production, so we're gonna go check on that. We are currently potting up perennials. We got a fresh shipment in from Walter's Gardens, so we're gonna check on that. I hope to get some annuals in the ground, possibly, because we just found out there is a frost warning for tonight. So I may or may not put those in the ground. I may just wait. I mean, it just makes sense, just wait one more day. But I do want to put out some mulch. We'll see if that happens. But what I started out this morning was I came down here to fill up the bird feeders that are in front of our house. If you will remember, I'm kind of down below the house. You can see that this is the daylily bed right behind me. So there is the house, of course, so we're standing in front of it and filling up the bird feeders. There was weeds, so I went ahead and pulled the weeds because we got great rain yesterday, so really easy to pull those weeds. But while I'm here, the Weigela is in full bloom, so I thought I would give you an update on that because a lot of you have asked how they are doing. Those of you that have been with us for quite a while, I planted these, what I thought were, let's see, 5 of the Sonic Red Weigela as a test to see how they would do. These are, gosh, they are doing great. They have got gorgeous blooms on them, all red, just fantastic. But as it turned out, the one in the very back is actually not red, it is white. And wouldn't you know that? So much fun. But what I'm going to do with these Weigela is that once they finish blooming, I am going to go ahead and prune them back just a little bit, so that way they're not too gangly, that they will get nice and tight and stay that way. So because these bloom on old growth, you want to prune them immediately after they bloom. You don't want to prune them before. So in a couple of weeks will be a perfect time for me to go ahead and prune. And what I'll do is just shape them up so that way they are not, you can see how they are nice and tall and full and sending out limbs all over the place, but I don't want that to happen. I want them a little bit tighter. I haven't pruned them in several years, so this is the perfect time to go ahead and do that. While we are in this space, I thought I would show you two other things because we have had some questions about this in a couple of videos, so I wanted to show some things to you. Yeah, so let me just flip the camera around. In this flower bed, we have probably 5 or 6 of the summerific perennial hibiscus from Proven Winners. And this is a great example of one of them because this time of year, you may or may not, depending on where you are, start to see some new growth pop up in your summerifics. So here we have some new growth right here. Any of these little green shoots you see, they're popping up. If you have not already pruned your summerifics, you need to go ahead and do that because the summerific hibiscus bloom on complete new growth. So what that means is that they're going to send up growth from the very root system of the plant. They don't bloom off of the stalks from last year. So those are just dead. They're not going to come back. You can cut them as low to the ground as you want to, and then all that new foliage, of course, will come up and will cover those sticks. Now, if this is relatively pretty early, because again, here we are mid-April, and the summerifics love it hot. So if you don't see growth on your summerifics, don't freak out. They like it really, really hot. This spot gets late afternoon sun. I have one just in front of me that's not showing any growth right now. It's fine. You just have to be patient with it. But I did want you to know that if you've not pruned your summerifics, go ahead and prune them down to the ground and then just wait patiently for your new growth to emerge. All right, my friends, so here we are up at the production area, and the fellas behind me are already smoothing out the last little bit of the concrete. So it was poured first thing this morning. I think the trucks were here like at 7 o'clock. It was 2 trucks of concrete. Of course, they have to, you know, spread it, get all that stuff done, and then they have to wait a couple hours for it to get hard enough for them to be on there. And so now it is an absolute art, the way that they smooth it out to get any little bubbles and to get it completely smooth. Then again, they will wait several more hours, and then they will come back and then cut lines in it, so like the stress lines, so that that way the concrete does not crack. So there you go, doing an amazing job. Now moving on down, so that's dry storage. Then here is production 1, and gorgeous hanging baskets that we have talked about. I think it was last week that we were here. Just loads of color, and then you can see Jerry and Andrew and Kelly back there potting up some bare root perennials. We will hit those in a minute. Well, let's just go ahead and look at the ones that they've already done, because that just makes more sense. So we have got, I think it's 3 or 4 colors of the Gnophopia, the Pyromania series. So Orange Blaze, let's see if we can get that one. So Orange Blaze, we have had Gnophopia, or I grew up knowing it as Red Hot Pokers. The whole Pyromania series has all those really fun, like hot colors. They are going to be full sun. They're more petite though than like your old-timey Red Hot Pokers. So there's that. Now, new color for us is Rocket's Red Glare. Look at that gorgeous color. Really, that red with kind of ombre look to it. Again, this will be a little bit taller. It's like 3 feet, but even still, very, very manageable. Then we also have Solar Flare, which is just a solid, vibrant yellow. Just a gorgeous color. It is going to be a little bit bigger too, 36 inches to 42 inches. And all of these are going to be in those hardy zones 6 to 9, but beautiful. And then Backdraft. We have had Backdraft before. So Backdraft is the orange ombre. Kind of as it goes up, it'll change a little bit color. So like the older blooms will fade out as the top gets darker. So that's really fun. We've got a bunch of the new, oh, there's one more, sorry. Flashpoint. Flashpoint is a light yellow ombre look to it. So this whole Pyromania series is great. And in our zones, that the foliage is evergreen. So even in the dead of winter, January, February, I still have foliage out there. So it gives you some presence in your winter garden as well. What I was going to say is we've got some of the new sedums in. This is the Rock and Grow series, and this is Back in Black, which is a really nice dark foliage of a sedum. And remember, sedums do like it hot and dry and neglected. You don't compost them, you don't fertilize them. When I was out with Laura in Oregon, we planted some sedums with her, and she was saying, you know, do not amend your soil at all, do not fertilize, biotone, nothing. Stick them in the ground and neglect them, which, hey, works for me, right? So these will be 20 to 24 inches tall, hardy in zones 3 to 9. So this is a great example, Laura being zone 5 or 6 in high desert, and us, North Carolina, zone 7B, hot and humid. This is a plant that will work for both of us in between. So, and we do have these at the nursery in a bed because we got them last year as trial plants. So we have that. Then, if you will remember, just the other day, we went into the new flower beds in the back, and I was showing you the Firefly Sunshine, the new yarrow. So we got some more of those. We still do have a couple of those at the nursery. So if you're coming this weekend, we do have those, but nice, tight, compact yarrow, only about 30 inches tall, hardy in zones 3 to 8. And it is going to be a full sun plant. So we have that, and then back up just a little bit, Megan, because I think we have another sedum. Megan is my camera lady for me right now. Here we go, yes. So another Rock and Grow sedum, and this is Coral Jade. And Coral Jade, a totally different color than your Back in Black. But it's going to be those same kind of growing conditions, full sun, neglect, the whole 9 yards. And all your sedums are going to be fall bloomers. So that brings you some interest into your fall garden with the flowers on that. And so they will open up to a soft coral pink later on in the season. Now, I think everything else we're doing well on. Tomatoes. So we have the proven winner tomato plants. They had a little bit of a rough start because we got them right before that 19-degree night, and they took a little bit of a hit, but they are beautiful. I mean, look at that. Look at that beautiful plant. We even have a couple of little flowers on it. So pretty soon we'll have some little tomato buds. But we have garden, this is Garden Gem. We have Garden Treasure and Garden Harvest, whatever the three are. And then the hot and heavy peppers and the Amazel basil. So we have all of that. So all of those are ready. And now let's move over here to the other side, production 1, because Megan and I have had lots of fun here playing with plants. Megan is my she's my future landscape architect, and she has a great eye for color. And so we have been planning some of the in the backyard, the patio area, we've been planting some of those containers. So I'm gonna let Megan flip around. And this is what we are thinking for the patio. So if you will remember, on our patio, we have built-in flower boxes that go on 2 sides, and they're nice and long. I can't remember the exact dimensions. So we're going to kind of run through, and this is subject to change until they actually make it into the ground. But for our height, we're going to go with the Playing the Blues salvia. So this is the exact same salvia that I just planted in the flower beds between the guava and the David Austin roses. So that will tie in because we'll have the Playing the Blues in 2 locations that you can see from the same spot. We'll only have a couple of these dotted in the in the boxes because it gets so big. Then we're going to use Diamond Snow for a nice big pop of white. So again, this gets nice and mounded. It will get some height to it, but we're going to use that. And then the Newly Noir Color Blaze Coleus. I mean, just the color on this thing is just exquisite. And so it brings a bit of darkness. That sounds weird. It brings darkness to the area. But I am going to be using the purple fountain grass in my urns, so that'll still have that dark purple. So these two will tie in very nicely. Our main color is going to be, look at this. These are the new introductions for next year. Let me show you the tag first. This is the Pink Lemonade Super Bell. And then look at those, y'all. Look how pretty they are. Are they not gorgeous? It is just stunning. I am so excited. And because it is a Super Bell, I know it has to go in a container for me. Does not do well in my clay soil. Now, to pair with that, we're going to use the new Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow. Now, I guess in my brain, when I was thinking a mini, like a yellow petunia, like I was thinking a bright yellow. This is definitely a more muted yellow, a soft yellow, but the Pink Lemonade and the yellow go really nicely together. They complement each other really well. So we're gonna mix these in to those boxes and give some fullness and some of the spilling action. We're also going to throw in for a nice big spillage is, of course, my beloved the Dichondra Silver Falls. So I did do this in the boxes last year, as Megan told me. She reminded me. I was like, I know, Megan, but they were so pretty because it gives, again, a silvery color, cool color, and it will trail. It goes straight down. So Silver Falls it can only get 2 to 6 inches tall, but it just goes down. I mean, it is this beautiful straight down, but really pretty against the dark boxes. So those are going to be in there. And then we're going to throw in a Scaevola. This is new for us this year as far as growing it. This is the Sun Diva Sky Blue Scaevola. And again, it'll be a nice, pretty green foliage, but then a very light purple in there. Again, it is called blue, but in the real world, it is a blue. I mean, it is a purple. But you see that the color palettes of those three complement each other really nice. Megan kept telling me, she's like, Mommy, you need some purple in there. And then all the dark stuff that we were putting just wasn't, it just didn't work for me. I think this is going to be a nice complement with each other. And then my sweet girl, because she is so creative, she's like, you need to have something edible in there. So I was like, ooh, strawberries. And of course, we had to go for the pink. So we're gonna use the Buried Treasure pink, and I'm only probably gonna do like 3 in there, and that will be on the deck side of the boxes, so that way when we're up grilling or we're walking on the deck, those strawberries will spill over so we can snack on them. So that will be kind of like a little secret surprise on the inside of the deck boxes and not on the outside, because I won't be able to reach them. So we'll be on the inside. So that'll be a fun little, I think we're pretty confident on our decisions here. So like, for example, I may only use 4 of the salvia, 2 on this side and 2 on that side. I may only use 3 of the salvia. I do realize I learned last year that I really overplanted the boxes. They were gorgeous and they were beautiful, but long run, they didn't, which was fine because the boxes were evolving, but certain things overtook other plants, and so some of them kind of petered out, some got smothered out, which was fine because the boxes were constantly changing. But you live and you learn, right? That is gardening. So we're super excited on this. Now I do want to go ahead and move down, or we'll just flip around here in just a second, because we've got a bunch of the new introductions right beside of where Megan's sitting, and I want to give you an update on how they're doing because they are really fun. All right, so we moved up to the front of the greenhouse because this is where the vast majority of the new introductions for 2023 are. Again, these are samples for us. These are trials. They are not going to be available in the garden center this year. You got to wait a year. So Proven Winners and our friends over there at Pleasant View Gardens sent us these so that we could grow them, see how they do, put them in our gardens this year, and so we can get a real feel on how the plants do, so that we can tell you a good representation of what everything is doing. So we're going to run through these real quick because I did a video when we first introduced them, but I just want to give you an idea of what they look like in real time. So first, this is Queen Tut. So it is a little bit of a habit of the baby tut, but kind of that's open, airy. You can just get a feel for what it looks like, right? So it's going to be really fun, whimsical kind of grass. So we've got Queen Tut here. We've got the wire vine, and I don't have all the tags in here, y'all, so you're going to have to forgive me. I'll tag the other video so you can go back and look. But this is that wire vine. It's doing really well. Clearly nice and vigorous. Very happy. Doing great. Now, look at this. If I can get it out. That doesn't have a bloom. Let's see, who has a bloom? Here we go. This is the new Mini Vista Midnight, I believe it's called. Mini Vista Midnight. Really dark purple on it, and it is really, really pretty. So this is doing well. Well, they're all doing well. I will take that. I'm not even going to say that because they are all doing really nicely. This is the new Osteo Horizon Sunset. This is one of Megan's favorites. I am actually going to put this in the Western urns with that purple fountain grass. So I'm going to have the purple fountain grass in the middle, then these all the way around it, because Osteos, they say, probably will not handle our heat and humidity like in the summertime. So they'll be glorious in the spring, and there are bugs flying everywhere. It'll be pretty in the spring, and then as the grass gets bigger and the heat starts, these will kind of peter out, and then my grass will just be glorious. So this is going to be really fun to have in there. This is Jerry's favorite right now. This is the new Coleus. This is watermelon. And watermelon clearly gets its name with its vibrant, red center, the green, and then the yellow on the edges. It is going to be a nice petite Coleus. It's not going to be like our typical Color Blaze Coleus. It gets huge. So really fun and whimsical with the watermelon. Then we have persimmon petunia. And again, I am working off of no tags. This is just memory. But this persimmon, man, it is really, really fun. And then we have the Mini Vista Red, which is, again, this is why we do these things. It's a little bit more of a, I don't say the pink family, it's definitely red, but it's not like a vibrant fire engine red. It's what?
Punchy color.
It's a punchy color, right. And so anyway, still really a great plant, gorgeous. Let's see, what have we not talked about? Oh, accent plants. Megan really liked this one because of its foliage, kind of that shiny, glittery foliage to it. Again, this will be an accent plant. There will not be a flower per se on it. Then, ooh, let's see over here. Where am I? There's so many, and clearly everybody is growing and becoming very happy. And so we're gonna have to spread everybody out here. The new begonias. So there's two new Surefire begonias. This is the Surefire White. I'm trying to get them with some blooms on them, Megan. And then Cherry Cordial. So here's the white. And we do have another one that was opened at the other end of the greenhouse. And then Cherry Cordial. Dark foliage, beautiful red bloom on it. But on the inside, they have a little yellow throat. So there is a little bit of a yellow in there. The Portulaca is doing great. It is, let's see. Nope. You think you have a bloom, but then that stalk belongs to the friend next door. Look at that. Of course, Portulacas are great because they love the sun. They're heat tolerant. They're drought tolerant. The blooms open and close with the sun. So much fun on those guys. Let's see, Megan, who am I missing? Oh, what are those things called? Lantanas. Look at that. Is that not a massive pop of beautiful gold color? Gorgeous. And then there is a darker one that has some orange in it. Let's see. Doing my gardening yoga here. Got to stretch. And that has a little bit of orange in it. Really pretty. So these are coming along very nicely. The sweet potato vines, remember these are the climbing sweet potato vines. They climb and trail. So there is the dark one, and then we've got the limey green one, Megan. Yeah, in front of you. See those? Yep. That are doing really well. I haven't quite figured out what I want to put these on yet in order so that they will climb and so that we can see how they do in that aspect. But everything is doing really well here. So I just want to give you a little update on the new introductions because we haven't talked about them since we introduced them. Yeah, so we're going to take a break for right now. Not sure what we're going to do. We're going to change some gears and we'll meet you back here in just a little bit. All right, friends, the day is just about done. I will tell you that I didn't get quite as much done today nearly as I wanted to. The kids have had a little cold running through the house, and guess who got it? So I was absolutely just wiped out today. I actually took a 2-hour nap, which I don't know the last time I took a 2-hour nap, but I did. That's all right. Sometimes you just have to slow down, and that was the day for me. So hopefully I will get a good night's sleep and feel great in the morning, and everything will be back to normal, and I can be getting all sorts of great projects done. So Jerry and I wanted to wrap up today's video tonight out here in the flower bed along our driveway. These are some absolutely stunning azaleas. They are positively glorious right now. These are the Encore Autumn Twist azaleas. We have had them in the ground for 3 years, 4 years, somewhere around that. We actually did a video when we planted it. It was one of our first videos that we did. So I will go back and check the date on that. But I think the key with your azaleas, your reblooming azaleas, is, Jerry and I were talking about this the other night, is basically you plant them, you give them water, you give them fertilizer at the appropriate time. Spring is really good. And obviously they need the full sun, and then just be patient. These things have sat here for, like I said, that 3 or 4 years, and they are literally covered in blooms. Autumn Twist is a really fun azalea because you get all these colors on the same plant. Hence why it is called Autumn Twist. We have some almost pure white, some with some pink in the veining, and then we have some that are almost a solid pink. So there are a lot of fun reblooming azaleas out there, and of course now is the time when they are just in their absolute glory and gorgeousness. So we just wanted to take a minute and show them to you so that you could just see them and know that sometimes a little less is more with your reblooming azaleas. And patience. You just gotta be patient with them once they get established, and then they will get nice and happy and give you loads of color. But it does seem that this is the year for some gorgeous colors on our azaleas. As always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.